Okay, what a difference a week makes. Last Wednesday, we had the biggest blizzard we had all winter. We got like a foot of snow in 24 hours. And this Wednesday, it is spring. And so we have puddles and ice and mud and bare ground. And I am not wearing a toque for the first time in forever. And I'm going to take Tundra on a walk. She's a little bit in heat today and a little bit blowy. We've been walking just in this little circle here for a while because there's been no other place to go. But I'm going to take her on the driveway with you because I'm talking about balance. And let me tell you, so just trying to adjust the angle so you can see the terrain, which is, you know, all sorts of tricky. And I also want to keep in mind the emotional and mental parts of us. If you look at Tundra today, you're going to see a wide awake mare. She's raring to go. She's curious, she's forward, she's very cooperative. I'm not trying to get on her today, and I think that's surprising her because I have been for the last few days and really working on this dichotomy, this balance between, oh, good girl, between if I do a little push here, I want you to move away from me. And she's not really paying attention. There we go. Cross that leg over. So that's a very light touch. Almost no pressure at all. And I even want to not even touch her skin to get her to move away. And she feels like that deserves a treat, which it may at some point. But at the same time, when I come to her stirrup over here and start wiggling and putting weight on it. And she's very interested in that because that does get her treats. I want her to ignore it and plant her feet and stand really still. And that's, you know, that's the exact opposite. So pressure here when I'm mounting means stand still. Pressure here when I'm not mounting means move away. Yeah, cross your leg over. Good girl. So it's a lot. It's a lot for her to take in. And I'm taking my time because I tend to get very task-oriented and very controlling and very excited about her success in following my cues. And I lose track of her mental state or her emotional state. And most certainly I lose track of my emotional state and my physical state. And so those are ways that I'm out of balance when I'm with my horse. And I just want to emphasize that nobody is in balance. Like, we're all unbalanced. And in trying to explore this topic, perfection is not going to be the goal. It's going to be a lot of progress. And for sure, at the beginning, even just awareness that this might not be a balanced scenario. So I'm trying to go slow. Look at that. She stopped with me. I'm trying to include you guys, but also include her body, her mind. Let her figure it out. Give her the space to problem solve. Give her time. Actually give some clear cues so that she has a shot at knowing what it is I'm asking for. And I also want to keep track of emotions. So if I see her escalate into a fearful state, and that's very possible with the water everywhere because she doesn't like stepping in water, I want to respect that and slow down my other kind of go forward ideas. and you can tell I'm very excited to be back. I'm excited to be back on Substack. I really enjoyed the week. I really thought a lot and rested and spent time with myself, with my animals. And you know what? This grass is no good. And really wanted to come up with a heartfelt direction for this next year. And so I think balance is what my heart wants and what my body and mind really would benefit from. So here we go. This is terrain. And so she just stepped on her own lead rope because her nose is down. And I want to take my time here because, yeah, water is tricky. And I spent quite a bit of time yesterday trying to help her cross a puddle, and she got a little bit nervous. And so this is wonderful. We'll just let her investigate. I'm going to not push my agenda. I'm going to let her just really be curious. I'm going to let her avoid a little bit because she is being curious. And there's a lot more where that comes from. So it's not the end of the water. And I also, it's slippery. I want her to be balancing herself physically. So there's a lot going on in a little walk. And that's kind of my point, is that for me to be balanced as a leader for her, I need to be aware, a nice shakeout. Oh, good girl. I need to be aware of, my mental state, which is usually rushing. That's my imbalance. I need to be aware of my body, which has to deal with ice and mud and, eclipse is whinnying. There's a lot going on physically that I should be aware of if I'm going to be a good leader. So here's another set of reflective surfaces, and I'm just gonna really just encourage her to take her time. Really nice. We've been through all of this stuff, but it all looks different. And so again, to stop, pause, take a moment, reconnect. How are you doing? How are you doing? I really like how you're approaching this task. And just to allow all of us, my heart, which really wants, this to be successful. But further than that, I want to keep connection with this mare. I want to be someone she trusts. That is a big deal to me. So I don't want to break that layer of trust, and it's something I need to remember, because when my mind takes over, I get very focused on whatever little strategic sub-goal I'm doing and forget about the trust. And so, it's helpful to pause a lot. It's helpful. Look at you. Look at you. So from a heart space, we're very connected, even though I'm talking to you. She seems calm. She seems to be in line with me. She's a little close. So I'm going to push you over using that, good girl, using that cue we've taught. Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Yeah, and I'm just going to give her space to investigate, keep her thinking cap on, not have to manage her body at speed, figure out the different surfaces. Good girl. She can leap towards me when she's frightened, because she does think of me as a bit of a mama, and that's very dangerous. So I really want to keep this slow enough that she has a way to balance herself physically without trying to use me as a physical support. So again, there's just a lot of layers to this very simple walk. Here we go. We're going to keep going, even though it's slippery. I'm going to walk in the water. She's going to watch me. Love it. I love how her head is down. I love how she's looking. Whoops, there you go. You can see her looking around, checking in. Really good. Good girl. None of this is scary, right? It's not scary. Good girl. I'm gonna just keep going. I think she's able to keep going. And this is a big deal too, because we're leaving her herd. Now, she's gotten ahead of me. There we go. And she walked right through the water. Really good. That's a girl. So again, I just am thinking that focusing on balance, and with a lot of awareness of the parts to balance, is going to keep us both quite a bit safer. So this is a lot of water. She's pushing in. I'm not forcing her to go anywhere. Good girl. That's a good girl. That deserves a treat for sure. She's really standing right in the water. And so, yeah, I hope this just gives you some visual. Of course, most of you aren't training a horse, and of course, that's probably a good thing because they're very big, but they're also very expressive. And so let's say that you're supporting a child in a school who is fearful. You could overlay this walk on a new lesson that child might have to learn. And it could be as simple as going on a field trip with their class. And a lot of kids with neurodiversity really struggle with the out of routine field trips. And so giving that child as many ways to balance their body, so by taking in sensory information, having a chance to interpret it, which is what she's doing with her nose down all the time, letting her explore without challenge, because she's not ready yet. She's not ready for sensory motor. It's just sensory. So you can do that with a kid. You can give them a lot of sensory information without asking for a huge motor response. I'm going to walk in the water, and she can walk wherever she wants. That's a girl. That's a girl. But see how slow this needs to be. And I'm using her emotional state as a guide for how fast to proceed. And anybody can do that. We can do that with anybody, especially with ourselves. I used to ignore my emotional state, feel the fear, and do it anyway, was all I ever said to myself. And that is not helpful for me. For my sense of balance, that is really unhelpful. So for me, feel the fear and pause and figure out if there's a reason for fear, which is a longer sentence and not as snappy, is much more appropriate. So I'm going to pause this video and come back because it's getting long, and I might do a little postscript at the end. It's okay. Okay, well, we're back in the yard, and we're just going to head to this very puddly part, and I assume she's going to avoid it. No, you got to get over. Yep, good girl. And but we'll see. There. Maybe she'll go behind me. I'm not going to let you just get away. That was beautiful. So she's gained a ton of confidence in 10, 15 minutes just by letting her work it out. And for me, that involved me knowing that I tend to be unbalanced in the area of rushing through a task. That's my problem. And so countering that means that I'm going very slow. I'm paying a lot of attention to her mental and physical and emotional state, to mine, and I'm trying to remind myself that my true goal is trust. My true goal is her being able to communicate with me, which means I need to let her communicate her hesitation as well as her enthusiasm. And if I allow both of those communications, which would be another form of balance, then we will have a much more honest relationship. All right, nice to have you guys back. I have got to unsaddle her and put her with her people, her herd. She's very, very feeling pretty good. And so am I. So we'll see you next Wednesday.